England against Fiji, folks. 38 points to 18. It is a 6 tries to 3 win for England. I guess pretty similar to what was scripted in this one, but I feel like it didn't necessarily go all the way that people had predicted in terms of the fact that it's only a 1-point game at halftime. Fiji led for some of the match. Fiji are scoring tries from their hooker rather than their wingers, although England likewise got the forwards going. But geez, Henry Arundell is absolute lightning. Good to see him back in England colours. But yeah, England kicked less than Fiji. Fiji broke fewer tackles than England, so not everything going according to the script, but we'll go through some of the key events and the stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on the match. England, heaps of pressure early. The Fijians survived the first wave, but not the second. Cowan-Dickie was able to get a close-range try, which was good reward for all their pressure, so 7 points to 0 from England. But Fiji with an immediate reply, and it's a soft penalty from Feyi-Waboso, just obstructing on the kick chase. Fiji going for the corner, and Ikanivere, the hooker, going over his first of 2. So 7 points to 5 with Fiji missing the conversion. And England, putting pressure on the kick chase, but unable to kind of finish off, means the game just kind of sits for a while with that 2-point deficit to Fiji. But then Fiji get their second on 21 minutes. And it's wide, left wing pass out to Soakula. He gets the offload going. Soakula was a late call-up to this game. Remember, he wasn't even supposed to be in the team. Pops to Kuravoli, puts a chip over the top. It was going to be a penalty anyway because Marcus Smith took out Kuravoli. But yeah, Caleb Muntz chasing the kick is able to dot the thing down. So Fiji take the lead. Again, it's a misconversion, but 10 points to 7. And then Fiji able to extend it. Freeman taking out Muntz in the air. The Fijians get another chance. England concede another penalty. Play in the 9 and Fiji slot it. So 13 points to 7. Fiji are decently in front, and they've not had the territory, but when they've got down England's end, they've got the points. Then England, I don't know, it felt like they were close to getting things going, but couldn't quite find, they just couldn't quite find their shape. Like they would send it left, and final pass to Feyi-Waboso just goes under touch. They send it right. Same thing happens out on the right wing. Freeman can't quite take a ball, gets into touch. So looking to find that space, unable to quite execute, but they get a bit of an opportunity when Ravutomanda takes out Feyi-Waboso in the air, and that's a bad hit. Feyi-Waboso's ruled to have fallen on his front, but they took a long look at his yellow card to see if it should be upgraded to red. You know that because they had the entire halftime break to have a look at the thing, but the decision didn't come until a couple of minutes into the second half. So I think he was close to red, but it ends up remaining yellow for Ravutomanda, just not in control, and really clattered into Feyi-Waboso quite dangerously. Feyi-Waboso, though, none worse for wear. But 14 men Fiji, England turn the screws, the forwards go up the guts, they get advantage. Finn Smith dinks it through for Feyi-Waboso. 14 points to 13. England back in front. They will not relinquish that lead. But that is the score at halftime. England have had 76% territory. They've had less ball, but heaps of territory. But Fiji's kicked a lot more, 17 kicks to 9. Fiji's won more turnovers, 4-1. But England, turnovers conceded as 11-3. And it keeps being a little bit of a trend for England. I feel like it's one of the chinks in their armour at the moment is that they're just a little bit lacking that kind of clinical edge at times. When it clicks, it looks good. Line breaks is 2-1 Fiji, so it's kind of relatively tight in that regard. Second half, Feyi-Waboso has his turn to take out somebody else in the air. It's nowhere near as egregious, but he takes out Rayasi in the air, which gives the Fijians a shot early, but they're unable to score from that, and that's when we get the news that the yellow card is going to remain yellow, which is good for Fiji. But what's not good for them is Ellis Genge gets down the other end and is able to score a try. And it starts from kick return. Like the kick from Caleb Muntz to clear their lines is actually a pretty good one. He finds a really good angle. He finds plenty of space. The English backfield the guys are there, but he's able to pinpoint the space. It's quite near the sideline. But the kick chase is just not there. And England run it straight back into them. You got guys like Freeman and Lawrence, like Finn Smith popping it to Lawrence. Lawrence gets the break. Mitchell, he almost butchered the bloody thing. He just needed to shovel it wide. He tried to kind of step and go himself, but he got caught up. But it didn't really matter because Genge is able to burrow over from not long later. So 21-13, England looking to push out and extend their advantage. But again, we get a perfect reply from Fiji. They had a knack of doing it this game. They did it a couple of times, almost did it a third time. But yeah, England conceded a penalty at the breakdown from the restart, which will be a frustrating one for the English coaching staff because you just want to get a secure exit after you've scored points. But Fiji go to the corner. It's a pop play to the blind side to Ikanivere, and he gets his second. Again, it's a misconversion, but 18 points on the board for Fiji. They're only 3 behind, but that is their final scoring. England, what does Borthwick do to reply? He brings on some forward replacements. They go to the corner from a penalty of their own. They put on loads of pressure. Tuisova gets himself yellow carded, and again, against 14 men, England make no mistake. They get the maul try through Jamie George. This is a misconversion from England, but 26 points to 18. We almost got, again, a perfect Fijian reply. Offload to Mangala, and then Kurivoli tries to slide over, but he just loses the ball as he's sliding along the ground, tries to transition it from one hand to the other. It's an unfortunate one. It would have been nice to see them score to keep the game tight, but not to be. Then Fiji get punished again. It's loose kicking, cross kick on attack. Marcus Smith's able to get it. He hoofs it long, and that man Henry Arundell, who's just come on like a minute or two earlier, absolute lightning. He was miles behind. I get that he's just come on. He's fresher than the guys he's chasing behind, but unbelievable turn of pace. He's able to use a bit of kind of semi-footballing skills. Not the best, but it does the job to make it 31-18. Dingwall came bloody close not too long later as well, but Itoje got it for them not too long later after George had gone with a kind of quick tap in a couple of phases. 38 points to 18, so pretty comfortable in the end from England. Again, they keep their penalty count low, only 9 penalties conceded from them. Fiji also, decent discipline in terms of the penalty count, but they did get 2 yellow cards, which England were ruthless on. But, like I say, the turnovers conceded from England, 17. That's a number ahead of next week's game they would like to keep a touch lower. They controlled the territory, 63%. Possession finished pretty even, but yeah, they broke more tackles than Fiji with 20-18. They didn't kick as much as Fiji, only 28 kicks from England this week, so similar to last week. Fiji kicked 29 times, to be fair. But yeah, Finn Smith, 15 from 16 tackles. You saw him tackle Tuisova at least once or twice, which is a good effort from a bit of a mismatch in terms of the size-wise. Thanakai Vata made 13 for Fiji. Rayasi beat 6 defenders, but I mean, Lawrence, Feyi-Waboso, Cunningham-South all broke 4 of their own. Tuisova probably had more like turnovers won in terms of his contributions than like big line breaks and tackle busts and whatnot, but yeah, Fiji gave a pretty good account of themselves, but England, do you feel like in the last 20, just kind of pulled it away. They got New Zealand next, England. Honestly, the way, if you haven't been watching New Zealand play, just put high line speed on us and kick high balls and you'll have a good time. We still struggle with that area, but that's going to be an interesting one to see if England, who've not kicked a heck of a lot by their own standards in their first 2 games, really up those numbers against New Zealand. Fiji have France, so not getting any easier. You guys let us know your thoughts on the match. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.